Today, we will share top 5 best marksmen you can play in the Go lane to carry the game in Mobile Legends. Let's go.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with you. Just the thrill of it. Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit.
Yo guys, how's everyone doing? This is your guy Assassin Dave. Welcome back to the foreign famous family again. Today, we will take a look at the newly designed Go lane in Mobile Legends and recommend 5 best heroes that you can take advantage of to maximize your benefit from this position. First, just a quick recap on what has happened to the Go lane. We had a very sizable increase on the Go lane siege minion total gold reward by 10%. That means you really want to pay attention to those last hits and do whatever it takes to get those juicy farm in the first 4 minutes of the game before the minion waves return to normal. Next up, we also have a turret damage reduction against range attacks reduced from 60% to 30%. Basically means range heroes can take down early tower shield a load faster than melee heroes can. That just doubled down the fact that marksmen need to go side lane so you can really take advantage of the early shield money. In fact, I would even argue certain strategies can be made where a team can help marksmen take down shield gold from Go lane pre 4 minutes, and then marksmen can rotate to another lane, whether mid or the opposite side of the map, to take down shield gold from another lane just for the thrill of it, to really maximize the early game farm lead. Now, before we get started with the hero recommendation guys, today's video is brought to you by G Fuel Energy Drink. Energize your day with some amazing, delicious vitamin-based energy source and use the link in description and code DAVE for extra discount at checkout. And do not forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As a thank you, here's a picture of a cute otter. The first in the list today is none other than my personal favorite, Layla. The thing about Layla is really how fun it is just to play the most original hero in the entire game and be a complete glass cannon that destroys everything that dares to come in range late game. Now, most people would agree with the fact that Layla is a late game hero by now, but lots of people actually underestimated Layla's damage in the early game. Another major reason why Layla is fun to play is the surprise factor in the early game. If you land your void projectile and a lucky malefic bomb on top of it that just happened to crit, enemy is usually a few auto attacks away before you can finish them off with your ultimate. The truth is, Layla actually does insane amount of damage if you land your skills properly early game. The biggest challenge with playing Layla properly is peel. Layla's biggest disadvantage in lane has never changed since the inception of Mobile Legends, which is lack of mobility. You can easily gank her and she's most likely going to be a sitting duck, but with more focus onto the Go lane, you might be able to receive more support from your team and gain more protection that way. But that's only assuming you are playing with some friends. In solo queue, it's still a pain in the butt if you're trying to get your random teammates to understand you are their ticket to victory. Anyways, here's a build that I use on Layla to have a bunch of success with. Try it to see how you like it. Next up, we have Wanwan. After recent changes, Wanwan's passive now does 40% bonus damage to targets she proc all 4 weakness points on. This might not mean much pre-level 4, but after you unlock the ultimate, you will see the visual difference in how much more damage your ultimate can do right now. The key, obviously, is to get to that level 4, level 8, and 12 to continuously upgrading your ultimate and give it more and more damage as you grow. If you are able to get someone around 30% HP left, you can use the ultimate and one-shot them at level 1 ultimate. This buff makes Wanwan extremely relevant when we talk about her counter relationship against clumsy tanky heroes like Barat, Esmeralda, Belmont, and so on, who likes to walk straight up to you. Finally, I can put Wanwan's good skins to use and start playing her without feeling tremendous amount of guilt of being carried anymore. The weaknesses of Wanwan, nonetheless, is still her relatively weak early game. Layla, as we mentioned just now, can still do significant amount of burst damage just from landing skills alone. Wanwan, however, is completely reliant on her auto attack. And those auto attacks in the early game can best be described as scratching the surface and not even one of those itchy scratches. In fact, I bet if someone stands still and let Wanwan auto attack away, it's going to take Wanwan forever to deal noticeable amount of damage. In fact, Wanwan's early game damage came more from landing skill 1 and unlocking ultimate. But if you're able to activate the ultimate in time, you might be able to snowball with 1 or 2 kills in the early game. It's usually smooth sailing into the late game and straight up till you win the game. Anyways, here's a build that you can use to kick some ass in ranked. Before we continue guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all if you want to join the coolest, the greatest, baddest family in Mobile Legends. And make sure to juice up your gameplay with some of the best affordable equipment of 2021 featuring Red Magic 6S Pro. More on that at end of this video. The third marksman I want to talk about is the newly buffed Kimmy. Kimmy was once meta's favorite marksman. In fact, she was so good that teams were running her jungle as hyper carry and all kinds of good stuff. But after her damage got nerfed quite a few times, Kimmy slowly but surely fell off the radar for quite some time. It's finally good to see her back again, cause you better believe that I bought that Dragon Tamer skin for a reason, and with a heavy Asian heart inside, I'm not about to never use that again. So good job Moonton for buffing Kimmy's skill 1 damage. Similar to Wanwan, you can now see a difference in damage visually whenever you activate your energy transformation. If you land your autos properly, you will see your enemy's HP bar sliding downwards in a fairly satisfying fashion in the early game. And once you finish those Genius 1, Berserker Fury and such, you will literally start seeing your enemy's HP vanish if you touch them with your energy gun. Kimmy's core strength after the buff remained intact and even stronger. She is still the queen of poke and goddess if you kite properly, since she doesn't have attack animation and can freely move around like Arathel. This is also one of the reasons why Arathel needs a desperate revamp instead of merely a buff that did not do her any justice. Kimmy, however, is good to go if you want to have some fun with this popular marksman. Just remember to position well in teamfights and avoid getting in range of those mobile and high burst assassins like Gushin. Anyways, here's a build that you can use to rank up. Number 2 recommended marksman on the gold lane is my only hero skin series collection, Bruno. Bruno got some major changes on this ultimate. Instead of doing flat damage reduction, Bruno's ultimate now does percentage physical defense reduction. This is such a game changer because everyone on the team can benefit from it. Why? Well, let me do a quick crash course of the difference between armor penetration and defense reduction. They might achieve similar goal, but armor penetration only applies to damage dealer who has the penetration item, but defense reduction is acting straight onto the victim you are affecting. And this damage amplification will benefit the whole team of players who deal physical damage to the same victim. And now, Bruno can shred enemies' defense by up to 24% overall. Add a Malefic Roar on top of it, you can effectively reduce someone's defense by a whopping 80%. I mean, that's just crazy if you do it right. The thing about Bruno's gold lane is how much damage he can do early game compared to all other marksman choices. Your enhanced volley shots has the ability to intimidate any EO-informed foes out there. All you need to do is to activate that skill whenever enemy gets close looking to trade. You can teach them the meaning of true terror. And on top of that, Bruno can also leverage multiple volley shots to literally delete that early tower ghost shield. I'm talking about lightning fast speed. This is a marksman that has teamfight presence, early game damage, late game skilling, and on top of that, mobility with his skill 2. I literally could not believe that not more people are abusing this marksman in the gold lane. If you're one of those marksman lovers and you have not tried Bruno yet, do it now before someone else does. And here's a build that you can use to destroy some noobs. Last but not the least, we have our number 1 recommended marksman in the gold lane, Miya. Why? It's totally not because the most recent reskin on Miya because of the celebration event. Well, maybe. But seriously speaking though, Miya literally has the best farming speed that any other marksman can dream of. Take Hanabi for example. I cannot possibly understand why the developers thought it was a good idea to nerf Hanabi's signature skill, the skill 1, and add just a tiny bit more damage on her skill 2 and 3 instead. Even if Hanabi has that skill 1 on 24/7, she still doesn't come close to Miya's wave clear in the early game. Miya can activate her skill 1 and just demolish the entire wave in seconds, move to jungle creeps, kill jungle in seconds, and then repeat. And she can do the same on enemy tower shield as well. Miya can easily take down the whole shield with 1 minion wave if left unintended. and she can probably straight up claim the turret with the next minion wave if still left unintended. If you want to gank Miya after her level 4, on top of potential support from her team, Miya also has an ultimate to purify and reposition, skill 2 to root, and all that good stuff. Let me just put it this way, Ling can gank Layla early game, but ganking Miya is almost suicide. The 2-second invis time is enough for Miya to move to a safer distance and return the firepower back to Ling. But if Ling is trying to run the late game skilling game with Miya, it also might just be one of the scariest and riskiest gamble Ling makes in his sad, short life. Remember, Miya can always build an item called Wind of Nature with all the beneficial attributes, but not necessarily Ling or any other assassins. With the recent changes and focus shift to the Go lane, it's not surprised to see this marksman rise to the top of the Predator ladder and dominate the whole game. In fact, I think I will be purchasing the Magic Draw Legend skin for Miya just for all of you guys so I can make more videos with Miya and show you guys some true Go lane power. If you want to see that, leave a comment down below and let me know. And here is a build that I use in rank that has given me quite some success. Anyways, that will be all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn the bell on to all notification bells. Love you guys, and Assassin Dave signing off. See you guys next time. And now, enjoy the detailed specs for the best gaming phone of 2021. Let me tell you about my designated gaming phone, Red Magic 6S Pro, the best gaming phone for 2021. This bad boy is packed with a Qualcomm Snapdragon AAA Plus core processor. It also has a 165Hz refresh rate, 6.8 inches AMOLED display with 720Hz multi-touch sampling rate. At the same time, this bad boy has 5050 mAh battery, mega battery, and look at my Pro design with a half transparent case on the bottom featuring the RGB turbo liquid cooling fan that blows air through the whole body. So you can play the game on this phone for hours on end with this entire phone cool, because this phone now is packed with the i7.0 cooling technology, means your phone will never get hot. If you want to get yourself ready, make sure to use the link in the description right now to get yourself the Red Magic 6S Pro and up your game right now.
Just for the thrill of it, nothing counterfeit with